knew I shouldn't have had that last stuffing, but the taste's so good. You know what else is good? Doctor Who's back on Christmas now, which is frankly fantastic. So, we haven't had Doctor Who on Christmas since 2017. And one of the things I was very happy about when Russell came back was bringing Doctor Who back on Christmas Day. But is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Well, let's talk about it. Let's find out. Let's get it watched. Let's get it reviewed. Yes, Doctor Who is back on Christmas Day for the first time since 2017, which Russell T Davies brought back, who also wrote The Church of Ruby Sunday, which sees Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson together for the first time in this said Christmas special. So, much like my previous reviews, if you've not watched them before, I simply like to kind of just say my initial reaction, which is a non-spoiler area, then talk about my likes and dislikes, which will be more spoiler heavy, and then my kind of final kind of discussion overall. So my initial reaction is simply, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I think it was what it needed to be for a Christmas special. It felt very Stephen Moffat. I don't know if that was just me, it's just the way it was kind of written and where it was, how it was told. And especially the way the Doctor was kind of overlooking the character of Ruby. It felt very kind of the way he did that with Clara, kind of looking over and kind of observing her, maybe is the best way to kind of describe it. I thought that was kind of interesting how that was kind of handled, and I thought I enjoyed it. There was we'll talk about them in the dislikes. The goblins. There was certain things I wasn't really a fan of, and it wasn't really that how what they'd done. It was more just how they were executed, and overall how the script felt executed a little bit. But overall, I thought I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think Ncuti and Millie, I'm going to talk more about them in the likes. I think they're really good together. I think they are fantastic. I like her foster mum, and I really liked the Gran, because obviously I'm an EastEnders fan. So obviously I know her as Yolande in EastEnders, so it's kind of weird seeing her, and she's in the show right now as well. So she's kind of, I know there was like a thing of she's trying to juggle the two things right now. But no, it was really great seeing her. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. It wasn't the greatest Doctor episode ever, or my favourite Christmas special, to be honest. But definitely not the worst. I'm not the biggest fan of The Runaway Bride and The Next Doctor. I've always been quite funny in those ones where it just feels like nothing is kind of happening in those specials. Just for me, I never got much out of them. But so that's my kind of initial reaction. So let's talk about my likes, and now this is going to be kind of spoiler territory now. So my likes is Ncuti Gatwa, I think was fantastic already in his first episode since the last time we saw him in the end of the 60th, where it was kind of naturally overshadowed by David, and which I still think is a bit of a shame that Ncuti hasn't had that transition, I don't feel, which I think is a little bit of a shame for him. But I still like what he did with it. I like the different costumes that he had, which, as we all know, he's going to have a very variant of different costumes. I like that he wore a kilt. I thought that was very nice seeing the Doctor in a kilt. I quite liked that look. It was a bit weird with the Stetson. That was a bit kind of a mixed look, because we've had that before, obviously, with Matt Smith's Doctor, and I don't know. I don't think the Stetson works in the Doctor. I don't know why they're still trying to think that's going to be a look, but here we are. But yes, really liked them, and I didn't mind the leather jacket look. I wasn't actually a fan of that look at first, but it looked pretty decent here, actually, to be honest. I didn't mind it. So yes, I liked him. Really liked Millie Gibson. I thought she felt fresh to the show. I quite liked her. She felt very, I'm going to say right now again, and I've got a feeling people won't comment about this, but a lot of people really hate how Stephen Moffat made the companions feel special. But hey, they're trying to do it here with Millie making such a big, who was her real mum. And I'm going to say right now, I've got a feeling it's actually Ruby, because there was a shot at the end where you see her wearing boots, and it looks like the same boots that Ruby was kind of wearing in that episode. So I don't know if they're going to do like a kind of a Stephen Moffat which they kind of did in the special, where it kind of, it all comes back to, because when the special opens, you see the Doctor was there at the same church, and you're thinking, why I was a bit like, why is he here? Did someone else sent him there? But actually it turns out we just kind of saw footage of the kind of later in the episode, which I quite liked. It felt I like that stuff because it felt very Stephen Moffat writing, and so much of this just feels very much in that kind of feel and line. But yeah, overall, I thought it was, it was fun, it was good. That was kind of the highlights for me. I don't think there's much to chew on the special. I'm gonna get a little bit into the dislikes, I guess, but I'll get into that in a second. But there's certain elements where I don't know if it does kind of work, but the overall, at least, it feels fun, and that's all Doctor Who needs to be. It does feel fun. It just wasn't great, really. But so yeah, let's get into the dislikes. And on to the dislikes. Let's talk about the goblins. Now, the problem I have with the goblins is how they are utilised. So we have the Goblin King, and it's in like one scene and then another scene at the end, and that's it. And it just feels like the villains weren't really. I just don't think they were very utilised very well. And some folk will moan about the musicals, the song, and all that, and I couldn't care less. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It just doesn't really do anything for me. I'm just not really bothered. It kind of felt a little out of place. I mean, no, Shooty Gatwa's got some pipes on him though, because that guy can sing, and that was kind of interesting. But I didn't really get much of it. Same with seeing Davina McCall. I still don't get why can we not just get actors, please, instead of her. I didn't really get it. Though, was it quite bad that I was cheering when the Christmas tree originally like fell? Maybe. Though that was Dark Christ at first, and then obviously the Doctor ended up actually saving her. Which is he changing the course of time, or are they just insinuating that that never actually happened? She didn't actually die anyway, so it didn't really happen. Who knows? But yeah. So dislikes. The Sonic Screwdriver is ugly. I remember in the promotional stuff, it looked ugly, and it looks ugly in the show. It's not for me. It's probably easily now my least favorite Sonic Screwdriver. It's just, it does look like a Sky remote from like the mid 2000s. Not for me. It's just what it is. If you like it, more power to you. I just don't particularly like that design. Dislikes as well. Kind of, as it says, it did feel a little kind of rushed and a bit kind of disjointed a little bit, where it felt some moments just needed to kind of just be a bit more kind of calm. Like some things felt a little rushed, and the way of like the Doctor and Ruby's interactions and such forth, which I thought was maybe a little bit of a kind of shame, especially when it's the first time and you want them to kind of really kind of, excuse me, I think that was the Brussels sprouts nearly coming back up on me. But it's just certain elements was just, I feel it just needed a little bit more, just a little bit more time to breathe a little bit. And it's interesting, like the first start does feel very Stephen Moffat, where I know people kind of complained with Moffat where he'd be a bit more jumpy, and it's very similar to that, which is interesting because Russell doesn't really generally write that kind of way, so it's interesting that he did. But that's kind of it for dislikes, I want to say. I don't think there was anything else that really kind of jumped for me. I think that was kind of overall it. So, yes, that's my review for The Church of Ruby Road. I'm going to go back now and enjoy my food coma. As I said, this is obviously the 21st of December. This is, as of recording this is straight after watching the special, because I thought, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to get it done. Just get it over with. Because it's always good because it's still fresh in the brain, so I still kind of remember it, because I have a terrible memory when it comes to that sort of stuff. So yeah, so overall, I enjoyed it. It was fun. There were certain things I wasn't really a fan of, but at the end of the day, the main thing to take from this was the Doctor and their new companion, and I enjoyed both. I can't say anything else against it, really. I did enjoy that stuff, and I'm looking forward to the WWE trailer. I'm looking forward to the next season in May. That's when it's happening. So looking forward to the new season, which, to be fair, has been a while since I felt like that. So there's obviously something going on there, I guess. So yes, looking forward to that. Please comment down below and tell me your thoughts on the Christmas special, and if you're happy seeing a Christmas special again, of course. So I'd like to know your comments. I always like kind of reading that, and hopefully I'm not the only one that goes crazy sometimes with these episodes. So yes, please like, share, and subscribe. That would be fantastic. I would also like to say have a very Merry Christmas, and hopefully have a Happy New Year as well. So until the future, there'll be new videos, of course, there'll be new videos. I'm going to say right now, there'll be one hopefully at the start of January where a certain present I've got that I'm very excited to kind of showcase off, and I'm building right now. There's a wee hint and tease. Ha! So, more videos in the future. So until then, see you later.